This is Jennifer Reuter with Gold Gals Paranormal, and you're listening to the Bigfoot Club podcast.
Hey guys, please go to our website at www.bigfootclubpodcast.com. Check out our merch and all episodes. Also, please look for our social media at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Bigfoot Club 1. That's Bigfoot Club number 1. Also, check out Matt Knapp's Bigfoot Crossroads on YouTube.
Bigfoot Club, Season 5, Episode 1. Steven is here with me. Steven, say what's up.
What's up?
Hey, I just wanted to let everybody know that we're back.
Yes, we are. We are back.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket.
That was a pretty good intro, wasn't it?
That was. See, I told you it would work.
Yeah, it did.
I think people would appreciate it.
I appreciate it now.
Yes.
We had to end last season fairly quick. We had I had lined up for the month of December. I had Brett Carson's, the psychic medium. And we had Luke Gross. It was supposed to end last season, but we weren't able to do that.
I think, as you may know, the Dominguez household, we have youngins and they're at school and they get sick and then they bring it home and we get sick. And then it's just a constant recycling of sickness. I think we were out of town too. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think you got sick too.
Yeah, but the
main thing was Grandma.
Yeah, my mom got sick pretty bad.
This was pretty bad. I don't know if you want to get into that, but
we don't have to go direct details in it. But she was pretty bad. My mom's 84, and she's pretty old, and she got sick. She had like 3 illnesses at once, and I think the paramedics had to do CPR on her, and so she was sedated, and she was out for a couple days, and she's made it through. She's fine. She's back home now. She went to rehab, and she's good. She's getting her strength back, getting her appetite back, so she's doing good. But we had to end last season abruptly because I wouldn't be able to do a show.
Yeah,
concentrating wise, because it was just too hard for me to concentrate on doing a show and like worry about my mom and stuff. So
yeah, that's a good enough reason. I think we took a break from that. I took a break from streaming.
Yeah.
Because the PS4 was just being a piece of crap trying to do the God of War.
So what happened? What was the result of?
I worked extra hard. I mowed other people's lawns, saved up money, and I finally did it. I finally got a PS5 and
threw paper out.
Threw paper out and all that stuff. Picked up the leaves, pick up sticks. But I got a PS5 now, and yeah. So the goal was to start streaming this week, but I got sick.
Yeah,
of course.
Well, you sound better now.
I sound better. I probably still sound congested, but so definitely next week I'm going to be back at it, and I'm going to continue where I left off on Ragnarok, but this time on the PS5.
Yes,
and
it's better graphics and
better lagging,
people.
Papa John's. Oh, sorry. Yes, better graphics.
We're not sponsored.
We're not sponsored by them. Sorry. You can edit that out. Yeah, so I'm gonna start streaming back on that, and then I have more opportunities to do recent games that came out on the PS5.
Well, I'm pretty excited about that because I haven't seen you play in a while.
Yeah, a lot of streamers have been contacting me and they're like, "Hey, man, you're all right, man. You haven't been streaming. You haven't." Sorry, man. I've been picking up sticks. Bigfoot Club, and all that. No, I was just focusing on myself, focusing on family, and obviously, keeping the house clean and trying to stay healthy.
Yeah. We also have a new setup.
We do. So we've always done this. I don't know if y'all can picture this, or I know Cassandra can because she's done it.
Yeah, Juan can too.
Yeah,
Blair.
Blair. We used to have the setup at our dining room table next to the counter and all that stuff, and it was fine, but it just sitting on those dining room chairs is just not comfortable.
Yeah, they're not good.
And we have new family members. We have a fish tank near the table, so you can probably hear it in the background, the filter running. But yeah, we have a half moon betta fish.
Right.
We call him Sunny.
Sunny Delight.
Sunny Delight. Sunshine. Sunflower.
But because you have the fish and we're kind of tired of the dining room, we moved it over to the couch.
We moved it over to the couch, which is it's an L couch, L shaped. What do you call it?
Yeah, just the
sectional, whatever.
Yeah,
and I love it. It's like
like whose?
Like Michael Rosenbaum.
Inside of you?
Inside of you, yeah.
Yeah, he has a good setup, and I've been watching his, because like you've asked me to watch his show, and or just listen to his show. So I listen to it, and then I watch it on YouTube. He has a sweet setup.
He does. He's got like movie posters on the wall signed.
Yeah.
What does he have? He's got the Lost Boys. Mm-hmm. He finally got Jason Patrick and Kiefer Sutherland to sign it. So his goal is to have the posters on his wall like Indiana Jones. He wants to get Harrison Ford on there and then sign that. So yeah, I like his setup. Unfortunately we don't have that, but
but we got couches now. So
we got couches, and we got
comfortable.
Sebastian and Ricardo Suzuki string hands, bow hands.
Yeah, and it's pretty comfortable.
It is.
So
I think I'm gonna if we take a nap. I'm sorry. Just know that we're on a very comfortable couch.
Yeah, Bigfoot Club,
season 5, episode 1.
But since we ended last season abruptly, we have officially gone over 50,000 downloads.
Yep,
and I'm pretty happy with that. So that's pretty good. And recently, like, cause I do all the social media stuff on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. So, but on Facebook, we just went over 10,000 followers and 9,100 likes.
I wish I could have that. I wish I could say the same thing for my TikTok. That'd be so cool.
Or even your Twitch.
Well, yeah, from the TikTok to the Twitch, it would work. But yeah, no, that's awesome. Like that's.
So everybody that's listening to the podcast and also on our social media, thank you so much. Share, like, subscribe to us on YouTube. We're on every platform right now. We're on every platform. We're on Alexa. We're on iTunes. We're on Google Play. So, it helps every bit of it if you just go and you like and subscribe, comment, give us a 5-star review. That really helps us out a lot. So if you can do that, it'd be great. And thank you for all the new people on Facebook. Go over to Instagram. Go over to Twitter, go over to our TikTok and get on there too. I mean, because like we really want that, and I strive to get that. So, Bigfoot Club, Matt's, Bigfoot Crossroads, we're solidarity, and we're just kind of good. I don't know why.
Hey Matt, if you're listening, I have a PS5 and I opened it and I plugged it in, and I got The Last of Us Part 1 remake. That was Blair's gift to me for Valentine's.
Nice.
Physical copy. And I was telling her, I don't know if you know this, but when I got the PS3, the first physical, because there was digital games that came with it, but the first physical copy I got was The Last of Us.
Really?
When I got the PS4, there were some digital games that came with it, but the first physical copy I got was Last of Us Remastered for the PS4. And then the PS5, the first physical copy I got was The Last of Us Remake Part 1.
I feel a theme here.
Yeah, and so, yeah, Matt, I'm pretty sure Logan is laughing too.
Yeah.
I messaged him, like, when I first got it, I was like, dude, I got it. I sent him a picture because he was like, welcome to the PS5, brother.
He has a PS5?
He has a PS5. He was like, not bragging, but he was like, dude, I got Call of Duty on it. Whenever you get it, like, get Call of Duty. I'll eventually get it, but
yeah,
he was telling me all about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm still trying to save up money for it.
Logie.
Yeah. But yeah, that's speaking of The Last of Us. I don't know if you want to plug that in on there.
Yeah, we can plug it.
Yeah. What do you think of it?
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I knew I was going to like it because number one, I've watched you play it,
Mm-hmm.
and I really enjoyed it. And I wish I had played it, but you know, I'm not a gamer. I just don't see myself a gamer anymore. I know I grew up on games, and you know, you watched me play games when you were little, right? And now you're a gamer, and now I don't play.
Yeah,
so,
and now you're watching it.
So,
But there's been times where you played. You were playing God of War for a while.
Yeah, too.
Yeah, God of War 2. But yeah, it's funny how they made it and like it blew up. A lot of people are like, there's even people who are saying it would be cool if Last of Us was like a game. Are you serious? There's actually people who are saying that.
Were they Bigfooters? Sorry, I'm making a play, taking a stab at Bigfoot.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I really like it. I enjoy it. And it's you know, a lot of people say, you know, another zombie. It's not really a zombie movie.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's like a plague, and these fungus. It's like
I think it's cordyceps.
Cordyceps. They find a way to get into the body, the human DNA, and I think they're a lot scarier because number one, they're not slow.
No,
They're fast, and they all like seem to synchronize together. If you step on like what's it called, cordyceps?
the cordyceps vines.
Yeah, if you step on it, it you know, attracts them from like the next block over. And they can, oh, someone's over there. Let's just go there and attack them. And somebody said that they look like a genital wart. the
clickers.
The clickers.
Yeah. So when Blair started watching it, we watched it the same night when it came out, and she was all like, "Man, so it's about Joel and his daughter. He's trying to protect his daughter throughout the whole series." I go, "Sure,
yeah, something like that."
Yeah, you can say that. She's like, oh, "Okay, all right, yeah, I'm down for that. Let's watch it." And you know what happens.
Right.
The first 30 minutes. And she's like,
oh, should we say spoilers? We're gonna
spoilers in a way. I mean, I wasn't going to say it. I was just going to say, you know what happens.
Yeah. But we never do that. We always talk about stuff and we don't say spoilers.
Yeah.
So,
title it. Spoiler alert.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm glad that they got, I'm glad that because they were given the option when the Uncharted movie came out. They were like, we can make the Last of Us movie. Or because they're both from the same company,
right? Or
Uncharted, and they kind of sacrificed Uncharted, like they had to do it and they had to do the movie, and they knew it was going to be terrible, and they did it.
I kind of liked it though.
Uncharted, yeah, it was good. It could have been better. Yes, it's not Last of Us. So
what I like about those showrunner guys, the guys that developed the game to go to
Naughty Dog.
Yeah, they I know they were pitching it like a while back. But the guy didn't want to do a movie because it was too big.
Yeah.
He said, this is too big. I don't want to do a movie. I want to do a series. And then he fell in love with the guy that did Chernobyl.
Great freaking show.
That's a great show, too.
Super sad. Super terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they did that. Like, they did such a good job. I'm
yeah,
so
they sure did.
Joe Pascal.
I actually remember whenever that happened too. It was in 84, 85.
Were they trying to cover it up like it was?
It wasn't. They didn't give it that much coverage.
Oh, okay.
They just made it seem like it was a cloud that was just circling the Earth. You know, like a nuclear cloud, and it was like radiation and stuff. But if that really would have gone down the way if they'd have left it alone, the whole world would have probably ended. Yeah. So,
and that is so. When they said that when I watched the show, I go, no, that they're just saying that because of it's a show. And I remember looking it up, and I was like, that is why
there was a lot of Russian people that sacrificed themselves to stop it, because it was melting down, it was going into the earth, and they had to get under it. Yeah, and stop it. So it was pretty scary. But anyway, we went off course a little bit.
No, just a little bit.
But The Last of Us, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I knew when they started doing all the pre stuff that I was gonna like it because it's got Pedro Pascal and what's her name, Remy.
Yeah, Ellie. But the actress name, I always forget her name.
It's something Remy or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I would butcher it probably.
But she was on
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones with Pedro, but they didn't share a scene. They never shared a scene or nothing like that. But they were doing an interview with them, and they were asking both of them. They were interviewing both at the same time. They said, "What would you bring from the Game of Thrones to this show?" And Pedro Pascal said he really liked his outfit and how it would like. It was like a robe type of cape,
cloak, whatever.
And it was, he said he loved swishing it around.
Yeah.
And then she liked her armor, and he says, "Because I can be behind you swishing my cape or his coat."
And you'd be all badass, and wearing your armor. Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty funny.
Yeah. So it's yeah, I'm pretty happy for the show, and the new episode came out tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it probably after this. So I'm pretty excited about that. So
can't interfere with the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch the Super Bowl.
They out of respect, they wanted the viewers to keep growing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, if I was, if they didn't do it tonight, I'd still watch it on Sunday.
Yeah,
that's just me because I'm a huge fan now. So I love it. I mean, it's almost like it's gained almost popular. Like it's probably bigger than like Yellowstone now.
Yeah, it's right up there.
So
it's right up there.
The Yellowstone.
Yep.
So anyway, so we're only like 16 seconds in.
16 seconds?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
It is nothing.
You're nothing.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about our last season. What or who was your favorite guest?
I'm gonna be safe and say Matt.
Like I was talking to him because I talked to him on Tuesday and Wednesday. He says, "What do you guys?" He goes, "Are you guys going to do a show?" I said, "Yeah, we're going to do one on Friday." Because what's it going to be about? I said, "I don't know. We'll probably like talk about why we in the show. We'll talk about review this past season and see who's our favorite guest. Because I already know who your favorite guest is.
Because I know if he were to come out like the next episode or the one after that, he goes, I couldn't help but notice that we're talking about your favorite guest, and
yeah,
my name didn't come up. So I'm gonna be safe and say it was Matthew. He was Reginald Nappers.
Nappers, yeah. Bartholomew,
yeah.
Nappers. So he was on quite a bit last year.
He was, and
I want to say at least about 5 times.
Mm-hmm. About 5-6 times.
I think once, maybe 2 of them were planned, and the rest weren't.
Yeah, he would call and he'd be like, "Hey, what you guys doing? We're doing a show." Oh, really? What you talking about?
I'm surprised he's not calling right now.
Yeah, he's probably, being Matt.
He already did a show. He already recorded his show. So
okay.
He's not doing nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
So Matt was your favorite?
Yes, I'm gonna be.
Yeah, I'm gonna double down and say Matt was my favorite too.
Yeah, so. I'm gonna. That way, whenever he does come on, he'll be like,
okay, who is your second favorite?
It would probably be, that's tough. Because he was so funny. And then the other one was so funny, too. Oh, man.
I'm just going to say, I enjoyed talking to Yowie Dan.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna go ahead and say Yowie Dan. Yeah.
Because he's still messaging me, right? I mean, he messages me almost every day. He messages me every day, and he sends me pictures and videos, which I love, and I respond to them all.
But who was the one that we were super nervous on?
I want to say Attila Caldi.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking. I was thinking either him or Yowie.
Gary Lynn was like really, really smooth to talk to.
Yeah, Gary Lynn is like one of the guys, one of the bros.
Yeah.
We had a really easy conversation with, but for some reason we were both of us were super fucking nervous about until we're just like, so aliens. And I was like, God dang it. Usually with every single one of the guests that I've talked to, I always ask that one question. Mm-hmm. Like, what would happen between a tickle fight between a grizzly bear and a Bigfoot or something like that? And I could not think of one. I couldn't think of one for Tilda. Like, I didn't want to say it and him be like, what a dick.
Yeah.
Oh, why are you asking me something like that?
Yeah,
I wanted to be respectful, and I think I asked an actual legit question. He was like, oh, okay.
I mean, I enjoyed talking to Tilda, Gary Lynn, John Kershaw. Mm-hmm. And I enjoyed talking to Sarah Bignon. You didn't get a chance to talk to Sarah Bignon.
No.
So, but she was great. I love talking to her. I was actually supposed to be on her show in December too,
and
there
was a lot of.
I had to cancel that one too because Grandma was sick.
Yeah.
And so, what about Terry Cagle?
Mr. Terry, Mr. Terry Cagle. Well, we kept butchering his name.
Yeah.
Dude's got a whiskey voice, man.
He does.
Very, very smooth. I enjoyed talking to him. Yeah, he was funny.
Yeah.
Isn't he like 7'2" or something like that?
He's like 6'7", I think 6'6",
Jeez.
6'6". But
Tall.
probably like 280, 290, somewhere in there. So
Man.
he's a tall drink of water.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I enjoyed because I actually enjoyed our Australian run. That was
that was very, very interesting. I hope that we can do that again, and hopefully, it doesn't have to be Australia.
It's tough, man, because they're like a day ahead of us. Mm-hmm. So if we interviewed them on Friday night, it's Saturday afternoon over there.
So it's like we're talking to the future.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much. So, but I really enjoyed Carter Bouchard. I really enjoyed talking to Carter.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, we talked about Bigfoot, we talked about music.
Yep.
And he's met lots of people in the music industry.
Yeah, he has.
And it was shocking for me to know that he either toured or talked to or was hung out or was in the same club with Bruce Springsteen.
Yep.
It's just like stuff like that just blew my mind.
Just blew my mind.
And so he was with the group, I guess that they were touring, but I don't think they ever caught, traction.
No, it didn't. But that doesn't mean he was a badass.
And then he knows his Bigfoot stuff, and he's got some books out, and he had some interesting theories and some ideas. And,
yep.
And I loved his style because he's been catching a lot of paranormal stuff and like Bigfoot stuff, and the BFRO wouldn't post it. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was kind of interesting.
That is interesting
because I know because there's two type of schools, and I'm sure you know this. There's the regular Bigfoot community that believes in flesh and blood, and then there's the Bigfoot community called the Woo.
Yes,
and the Woo believe in they believe that there's supernatural stuff in Bigfoot and portals and all that stuff, and people make fun of them all the time. But when you're in the field and you're talking to people, you don't pick and choose what you report. Whenever someone's talking to you about a Bigfoot incident and they just happen to talk about supernatural stuff, whenever I first got into Bigfoot stuff, I would cringe at it and I would just roll my eyes when I was younger. But the more people that I talk to in the field and like at conferences, there's always an element of paranormal that goes along with Bigfoot stuff, and I find that extremely interesting and odd. Mm-hmm. So,
and it would only make sense on some occasions where it's like, I don't know, something that massive, right? And like, who said it? The wood swallowed him.
It was John.
where the Bigfoot walked into the woods and then the woods swallowed him.
Yeah,
Like,
he said it was the size of two Andre the Giants, shoulder to shoulder.
Jesus.
And like, you know, Texas woods, I mean, it's thick, but it's not like redwoods where it's like, you know, a big old thick tree where it can hide behind. You
Yeah.
know?
So,
So I've gotten stories like that from a lot of people, you know, and
there's like theories where I think we came across where they use trees as portals. The old trees are like their little subway where they can just, if they need to get away from you.
Yeah.
Because if something that massive and it's running through the trees, you're going to hear boom, 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 stomping, trees breaking. And if there's just something really quick and it's like you don't hear anything after that, it's got to be, you can't pick and choose.
yeah. I mean, I've always been a strong believer, like after I stopped thinking about flesh and blood, but you know, Bigfoots, they're, because not everybody sees a ghost, not everybody sees a Bigfoot, and so I think they're on like a different frequency, and they vibrate at a different frequency, and you know, who knows? Maybe they're there and people just can't see them. Because I've heard stories about two people walking in the woods. One person could see the Bigfoot, the other person standing right next to the person could not see it because you know they point. You see that over there? You see that over? And the other person goes, no, I don't see anything. And it's just like, because I was a strong believer for the longest time that it picks and chooses who it allows it to see it. And I don't know. I mean, it's just.
You know what I'm mad about? Is that there was I have bad eyesight.
Right.
I honestly should have worn glasses when I was in school. The many times that I've been with you out in the woods, probably seen something, couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell what I was looking at. And if I had glasses, I probably would have I probably would have definitely seen something clearer. And I would be like, dang.
But did you really want to see something, though?
In a way, yes. In a way, no. But it would have been, because nothing happened.
Right.
Nothing terrifying happened. It wasn't like those movies where the Bigfoot,
Stick his hand to the
sticks
window.
his hand to the window and grabs your head, rips your head off. No, none of that. So yeah, no, I just wish I would have had these bad boys.
He's touching his glasses, right?
Yeah, these bad boys. While I was in the woods, because I probably would have seen something a lot clearer. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that?
I mean, I've been in the woods since the 90s, and I've yet to see anything. And I know I've said that on other shows, other podcasts, but
the late 1900s.
I mean, I was tromping through the woods before like the internet was fast, and that's
dial up.
Yeah, dial up, and it was bad. I mean, but
it's bad that I remember that. The start of the internet, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh man, AOL,
and it was like, what was it called?
The internet dropped. Someone's calling. Damn it. I don't think people will understand that.
If you called somebody while you're in a chat room or you're downloading stuff, because it took forever to download stuff. And like if they called like more than 3 times, it knocked you off the internet.
Yep.
So kids today don't know anything about that.
So back in the day, whenever Napster was around, remember Napster?
I do remember Napster.
I would download
before Spotify.
Yeah, I would download the music. I was downloading like NSYNC, and it was at 98 or 99. And someone called and it messed up the whole thing, and I had to wait 3 days again to download it.
Or unless I had it, I would just burn it for you.
Yeah, I'm like, dang it.
That's probably why you asked me so much. Hey, can you burn this for me?
and then LimeWire came out.
Yeah,
LimeWire. Wonder how he's doing.
No, he's fine. It's a person we don't like to talk about anymore, but
he's fine. That's great.
Yeah. So, I think we ran off course here a little bit.
Oh, just a little bit, but yeah, favorite guests. Yeah, definitely Yowie. Sorry, Matt, and then Yowie Dan.
We're supposed to be going on John Kershaw's show pretty soon.
We should.
Yeah, he's been asking us, and I'm trying to get him to narrow down a date so we can do his show. Because that,
tell him 3 to 5 business months.
Because I think we will be officially his first guest on his show.
Really?
Yeah, he usually just talks and describes his videos and talks about, because he's got a rich history from his mom's side, I believe. It's Aborigines, and it's like a long story. It's real tragic, but it's a real good story. But yeah, I think so. We started the season because I had just got out of recovery, right? Mm-hmm. And we did the first 2 episodes was just dedicated to like my story on I got recovery. That was to me, that was probably the hardest. It was one show, but I split it into 2. Mm-hmm. But that was probably the hardest show I ever did. You know, it's like it was really, really emotional because I recall talking to you about it, and at the time Juan was a part of the show. And I asked Juan, I go, hey, we're gonna do the first episode, but we're gonna talk about my condition, and he goes, fuck that, I'm not doing that. That's literally what he said. Fuck that, I'm not doing that.
I don't blame him.
And I asked you, I said, do you want to do this? And first, what did you say?
I was like, I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
At that time, I didn't like talking about it, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, you know, people need to know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think you were saying that there was people messaging you saying, hey, is everything all right?
Right.
You haven't released an episode in a while. You're just taking a break. So I think we owed it to the people who were really.
Yeah. If it just helped one person.
Yeah.
I'd have been.
And it needs to be heard, like that what you went through, and what. Honestly, you can use it for anything when it comes to physical therapy. Physical therapy was probably the hardest.
Yeah.
Because you had to learn everything again and all that stuff. So, yeah, it was definitely tough 2 episodes. I think like a lot of people couldn't listen to it. Like Cassandra couldn't listen to it. She's like, I can't. I can't do it. I know you. She's like, I know you do. Till hearing you.
Yeah,
flatline. Like,
I mean, to be honest with you, that to me, I took that as a great compliment that she cares about me and doesn't want to tell me how much she cares about me, which is great. I mean, I love it, but I, you know, it was interesting is that a couple weeks ago, because you know, Grandma was at Baylor whenever she was sick, and like in December. And the funny thing, I didn't say this, but the funny thing about that was Grandma was in the same CC unit I was in.
Really?
Yeah. She was like, I was in 3, she was in 6. CCU, I was in CCU 3.
Was it like around that corner?
Yeah, it was around the corner. And so a lot of the staff that was taking care of Grandma took care of me. Mm-hmm. And they recognized me, and they see me, and I think it was Christina, Lisa Marie. It was a nurse practitioner. I can't think of the guy's name. It was a white guy with
Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
I wish I remember. I don't remember his name. It was a very simple. I think it was like Shane or something.
You know, he was at the desk, and I went to go ask him a question. And he looked at me, and I go, hey, I was asking about my mom and stuff, and he goes, he's looking at me for a long time, and I go, you okay? He goes, do you remember me? I go, yeah, I do remember you. He goes, your last name is Dominguez, right? I go, yeah. He goes, man, because you look really good, and you know you're walking and stuff. So that same time, whenever I would go see, you know, because like she was pretty sick, and she's very highly contagious, and so when I went to go see her, I had to wear a gown, a mask, a shield, gloves, and stuff like that. So whenever I was done, and because we were staying with her at night, and so David would show up or Raymond or you know somebody. So I would leave and I would go over to the building B, which was the physical therapy place that I was at. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to go say hello to the people who take care of me. There was like one particular guy, Steven, he was a nurse that took care of me really, really well. And I haven't had a chance to thank him. So I walked back over there. And one of the physical therapy people that was there on the weekends saw me. And she goes, hey. I go, what's up? And I can't remember her name for the life of me. She goes, I listen to your podcast. She goes, thank you so much for thanking us. It really means a lot to us. That's what she told me. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember her name, but she was a weekend, you know, physical therapy person. Mm-hmm. And I was telling her about the podcast, and she listened to it. And I thanked them completely, you know, about them helping me and stuff like that. So it was very, very touching. And that, you know, her telling me that was really encouraging.
Yeah.
I said, okay, well, it did touch some people, so that's kind of cool. So
Yeah.
but anyway,
You did see Steven though.
I did see Steven, and he told me he was at the desk, and I walked up to him and I said, "Hey man," I go, "Hey man." He goes, "Yes, sir. Can I help you?" And I pulled down my mask, my covering, and I go, "Yes, you can." He goes, "Oh man," he goes, "I don't know," because he saw me laying down all the time, and he says to me, he goes, "I don't know how it is to see you standing up. I've seen you lay down the whole time." And so, but I got up and I hugged him and he hugged me, and he's a really nice dude, and he was really concerned about, because he said whenever he was serving me, when he was helping me, that I was really depressed, and he tried everything to get me to talk, and I told him, I go, "Man, it worked, dude. Everything you told me, it hit home, and then eventually I got over it, and I'm good." So
yeah, that depression, it sucked seeing you go through that, but we already talked about it. But
Yeah.
the it's not cool. But the thing about Steven is that you said that he hurt his shoulder.
yeah,
Picking you up.
yeah, he actually tore his rotator cuff because he says,
But he said that's always been an issue, right?
yeah, it was an issue, but I think when he started moving me around, because I really couldn't move at the time.
Yeah.
And they would readjust me every 2 hours because I had a bed sore. I don't think I ever said that. I had a bed sore.
I think you did.
I had a bed sore, so they had to move me every 2 hours so it wouldn't get worse. So he had to physically move me, and he tore his rotator cuff and had to have surgery. Because I recall I came back as soon as I was able to walk, I came back to thank him, and he was out on medical.
Right. Yeah.
He was out on medical, so. That was kind of interesting, but anyway,
He's better now.
yeah, he's good. He's good.
Yeah.
So, getting back to the show, what was your favorite show to do? I mean, we so we did a lot of shows.
We did.
I think 35 shows.
Yeah. Man. Favorite show I did because we laughed a lot, and oh man.
Scott Harriet.
Yes. He was funny as heck.
He is funny.
He's good personality. His movie was actually really good too. We enjoyed that. But yeah, I think that whole episode we were just laughing.
Yeah.
I think we were just he was cracking jokes there left and right. And
Yeah, he was a comedian before he was.
yeah, I know. That's why I was like, oh, this guy's funny. Like, he's a comedian. Oh, he was. Okay.
So, probably my favorite show is probably Cassandra's. I like doing Cassandra's, and that one was because I hope that she's still a big fan of the show.
Yes.
And I was thinking about doing a contest this year and getting a fan on the show. Mm-hmm. So that's what I was kind of hoping to do, because she's a big fan, but she's related to us, and
Right.
so that one was pretty good. And then the Portlock, Alaska one was one of my favorite ones too, because I really wanted to do that story before I got sick.
Yep.
Nobody had done a show on it.
Yep.
And right when we were going to do it, it was everybody was doing it. And there was a TV show and there was other podcasts doing it and stuff. So
I wonder if they're going to redo it, or not redo, season 2 of that show.
That one was a good show, but it was a bit. You can tell it was a bit direct. They directed them a lot.
Yep. And it just changed. The name changed every single time. Nunk the nunk.
Yeah, I think you enjoy saying that too.
No, I do not. I just I would roll my eyes every time I heard it. Man, this could be a drinking game.
Because you sound like you're eating something whenever you do it.
It sounds like a sound effect. It doesn't even sound like a name.
Nunk.
Oh, it was, the water was dripping and nunk was doing that. What? Yeah, it just, every person would say it too, and they said it differently. Oh, not to not. Naughty. Yeah.
I mean, that was an interesting story. Other than that one show, I mean, just the story period is interesting. So, what do you? We should probably set some goals for this season coming up.
Yes.
So I'm gonna probably reach out back to Luke
Yes.
and get him back on, and then Brett Carson's. We got to get Brett Carson's back on, and I'd like to do a show with Wes Anderson. So he needs to do a show. He does his like In the Shed.
Yeah.
With Wes Anderson. His shows, he does a really good job on his show. Like he rarely has guests on his show. He talks the whole time. He talks about politics.
He's got a good voice.
Yeah, he talks about politics. He talks about the NBA. He talks about the NFL. Talks about college football, college basketball, and then he talks about the paranormal at the very end. So I have to, he does a great job on it.
Yeah. It's an hour episode, right?
Yeah, I believe sometimes it goes over an hour. It
Okay.
just depends.
Yeah, because there's a lot of segments there to talk about.
Yeah, he talks
Wants
really.
to do around the horn kind of thing.
Yeah,
Around the horn.
I love it because whenever he talks about something that's odd or funny, he'll pause and just laugh. He'll say, because I think he did a story about somebody had wrote a story about people wanted to make fun of Putin because of his last name.
Oh.
And he says if everybody just, wrote to Putin and made fun of his last name, Putin, and he would stop and go,
Putin.
he goes, your boy has a bad name. Make fun of him.
Putin. What's he doing? Is he Putin? Yeah, he's Putin, all right.
So, because I would just say this, that I applaud him for doing that. I don't like talking about politics on this show because people get it like enough on that on social media, at work. Are you okay?
Yeah. I just
They
wanted
get-
to make sure the mic was there.
They get enough from it from social media. They get enough from it at work. They get enough from the news. I think Bigfoot Club is like an escape for people.
And you need that. I'm sorry, because if you focus so much on politics in your life, you're going to miss the meaning of life.
I mean, because like you're pretty much alienating like half of your potential listeners by talking about your political view.
Yeah. And, it's not, and honestly, it's really not about that either, because there's a lot of the side of that where they thrive on that and they want to listen to that and they want to bleed in it. They want to be a part of it. They want to be all that stuff. It's not really about the listeners. It's just it's everywhere. Like
it is.
You need to just disconnect from that.
Yeah.
Go out and have an ice cream.
Yeah.
Go out to the park.
Go to the park.
Walk your dog.
Go to the movies.
Go to the movies. But just
listen to Bigfoot Club.
Disassociate yourself from all that, and I guarantee you're going to be happier.
Yeah.
You're going to feel great, and it's just just go watch a movie, man. Like go to the library.
So I just feel that. Can you just stop coughing?
I only coughed like twice.
But I want to be that. I want us to be that
Escape.
conduit, the escape conduit, whatever. People just like relaxing and just listening to Bigfoot Club, and we talk about Bigfoot and the paranormal, and the Mandalorian and all that stuff. So PS5,
yeah, that spaceship that's near my TV. That's what Blair said.
It looks like a scanner. Like you're gonna scan some documents.
It looks like a freaking printer.
Yeah,
like the printer from Office Space. PC load letter. What the fuck does that mean?
Are you pretending like you're hitting buttons?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I applaud him for doing his show because like he does it by himself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could talk an hour by myself.
Maybe. Yeah, I think you could.
No, I couldn't.
I think you could.
No.
You're not giving yourself enough credit.
Of course I'm not.
And I think you have a great credit score.
Has nothing to do with it.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
But I don't know. He does a great job on his show, and I listen to his show enough. Because I don't really watch the news, but if I want to know the news, I've told him this that I listen to his show to listen to the news and sports. And he was saying, Bob, I don't know if I want to do that. I said, Wes, I think I'm going to do it. So But anyway, he listens to the show, and he's always hit me up on Twitter. Goes, hey, last show was pretty good, and so hopefully he'll get a kick out of this one.
Yeah.
So, Wes, we're gonna get you on, brother.
Yes.
I don't know when, but we're gonna get you on.
Yep.
There's a lot of people I want to talk to again. I'd like to get the Ghoul Girls Paranormal on here, and there's some other people I don't know. I know haven't done a podcast, and I want to get them on. So, and there's a couple of people that are I'll say this on Facebook. Our Facebook page, like I was saying earlier, has blown up. And I've gotten lots of people sending me messages on Messenger about Bigfoot. They see Bigfoot. They're sending me pictures, and they're just doing that right now. So Matt was asking me. He's messaging me yesterday saying, "Hey, man, I noticed it," because he's an admin of Bigfoot Club. Because whenever I was sick, I couldn't post stuff, so I made him an admin so I could post stuff.
I remember.
And so he's still an admin, and so he was telling me, because, hey, I'm getting all these alerts that people are messaging you. I go, yeah, I know, it's been insane. So, I mean, because like normally whenever I post stuff on there, I post like 6 posts a day, whether they're memes or just pictures or just cool stuff, Bigfoot related or paranormal related. And so as soon as I post it, I usually post it at noon or I post it at 6 p.m. And whenever I do it, I'll get some, acknowledgments. And now, since it's gone like to, 10,000, I get acknowledgments all the time now. Like I don't even have to post anything. I'm still getting like acknowledgments, people sharing, people liking, people commenting. Some of the commenting is like really. Some of the people are really serious about it,
Right.
And I have the comment a couple times to go, hey guys, it's just a meme.
Yeah.
Or go,
It's just a meme, guys. I don't think you know what it means.
Idiot. So
Are we in 46 minutes in?
we're in 48
Dang,
seconds.
I was close.
Yeah, you were close.
Dang, man.
So we got a little bit more to go. So
Yeah.
anyway, so you got anything else you want to talk about, or?
No, I kind of want to end it. End it on a good note where, and I told you about this. I had a dream.
Oh yeah.
Martin Luther King. I had a dream. Well, I've been. My family and I have been going to church recently.
That's awesome.
And it's been really therapeutic. I think I'm slowly dipping my toes and finding myself within that faith.
Right.
So I had a dream that I was in Days of Vala. I was in my middle school.
Yeah, you're junior high.
And I had the boys with me. And I was like excited. I was like, hey, guys, I want to show you my school. I went here. And I remember going through the front doors. And I remember seeing the same, I guess the receptionist or admin people there. And I was all like, hey, like, you guys are still working here? And they never acknowledged me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, have a good day. Like, jerks. Like, what the heck? I didn't say that. I said another word.
Right.
But I went into the cafeteria. I was like, yeah, look, this is a cafeteria. I would sit right here and all that stuff. And they were like, really like, oh, that's so cool. It's so big. It's a big school. And then I saw some of my, like, I guess the students there were looking a little too similar. People that I went to school with, but at a younger age. And I'd look and I would say their name and they would acknowledge me. And I was like, what the heck? Like, what's going on here? So I remember seeing my Spanish teacher, Mr. De La Rosa. And I was like, Mr. De La Rosa, you're still here. And he didn't acknowledge me. And I went down a certain like hallway where it's like kind of close to the gym. And I saw 2 of my old friends, Gerard Hubbard and Jerry Hooks.
These are guys that are no longer with us, right?
No, they passed away, and they're the only ones that acknowledged me. And they looked at my boys and are these are your kids, right? And I was like, yeah. And this is Ricardo and Sebastian. And they were like talking, like the boys were talking to them and saying what they like. And I remember on the dream, Gerard was all like, he goes, yeah, your dad we were best friends in school, and he went to school with us here, and we had the same classes together, and we played football together, we played basketball, and Jerry was talking to to Ricardo, and Ricardo was saying that he likes Sonic and all that stuff, and he's like, yeah, I love Sonic too, man. It's a hedgehog, and they were saying like, well, you need to take care of your dad, all right? You take care of your dad, and he's gonna take care of you, and then they looked at me and they're like, it was good seeing you again, man. It was really good seeing you. And I was like, it's good seeing you too, man. And I wanted to ask, like,
but they were the same age.
They were the same age.
The age whenever you had gone to school there, right? Okay.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask, like, I was like, so, like, wait, why are y'all? How come you're the only ones that acknowledge me? How come y'all are still in the same form? Like, I couldn't understand. And the dream ended there. And this happened Saturday night, and I woke up Sunday morning and it was church. So I was just like, the whole, like, I was getting ready. I was like taking a shower, and I was just thinking about it. I go, why were they? At the time, I knew that they were already gone, but at the same time, I was like, it didn't click to where I was like, maybe. And I think you said it too, like maybe you're in that spiritual realm of faith now, where you were able to connect with them.
Yeah, I kind of said that this is your way of saying goodbye to them.
Yeah, because I never did.
Right, you never got to
say goodbye.
You never got that chance.
Like Jerry, we grew out of, I guess, each other's lives, and he went to, I think he went to MacArthur, and he passed away in a car accident. And then Gerard, we were supposed to go play basketball,
right? And
that day, my mom said no, something like that. Something came up where I couldn't go, and I was like, "It's at Days of Allah. Like I can just go to Days of Allah." No, and then that night he passed away.
Right,
he had a heart murmur. So it was definitely two people that I've always thought about.
Did they know each other?
They did.
Okay.
So it was always those two I always thought about, but I never really got to say goodbye. So it was a really good dream, and it's been with me since I had it. And I've always think about it. I go, man, it's an awesome dream. Like you never dreams are like the coolest way of someone. If you lose somebody, that they'll eventually show up in there, whether it be them in person or a voice or a butterfly, something like that. Because it was the same thing with Grandpa. Yeah, remember, I don't know if I talked about it on the show.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you did.
Where you were in the hospital, and I was a mess. And I couldn't eat. I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to sleep. And when I did sleep, it wasn't great. And I had a dream that I was like in the same living room, and Dwight couch was on against the wall where you could see the hallway.
This is the house where I grew up. Where I kind of grew up in.
Yeah,
Steven grew up in too. So
yeah, you see the hallway to the right, and then you see the little doorway to the kitchen. And then the little small box TV that they had in the corner, the Dominguez name on top of the front door.
Yeah.
And I remember my head going up and down, and I was like, and I smelled Grandpa.
Like his aftershave.
His aftershave, and he had his shirt, his those flannel shirts, whatever. And he had his hand on my head, and I had the Lion King. I remember it vividly.
Yeah.
The Lion King blanket I had, and I was like trying to look at him, and I was like fighting his hand. He kept holding my head. And it wasn't hard, but it was like,
yeah, he was trying to get you to rest.
He just said, everything's gonna be okay, man. Everything's gonna be okay, Neil. It's all gonna be okay. And I was like, Grandpa, is that you? Everything's gonna be okay. Kept saying that.
Yeah.
And then I remember I would always feel safe. That was my safe place when I was a kid, was laying on him. And I loved hearing his stomach.
Yeah, his breathing.
And I loved how when my head would go up and down because he would be breathing. And it was like a rocking thing.
Yeah.
So that was another dream where I was just like, and I told Steve that too. I remember I told Steve, and he was like looking at me, and he's like, you remember the Dwight house? I was like, yes, I remember the Dwight house. That was basically where I grew up in a way. A lot of good memories there.
Yeah.
But yeah, those two dreams have been awesome. I constantly look to those dreams because I think, like I was saying, where I was getting at, dreams are like little
doorways,
and I guess a place where your loved one will meet you there and let you know that everything's gonna be okay. Or it could be just a simple like catch up, and that's what Jerry and Gerard was.
Yeah,
and I didn't know I needed that. And
it's
I
almost
did.
it's almost like a Christmas Story, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah,
a little bit. I mean, they let you see, or they gave you the opportunity to say goodbye to them because you decided that it's okay to open the door back to your faith and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was definitely a good dream. Those two good dreams, especially Grandpa.
Yeah, I didn't know that story, and you told me that, and I go, really? Because I tell you that, I go, no.
I didn't. I remember when I woke up, I was like, I think I cried because I was just like, he was just there.
Yeah,
he was just there, and I remember being so happy. And
so did you? After he told you, I'm talking about Grandpa. After he told you that story, after he told you he's gonna be all right, were you okay after that?
I was okay because that was the day whenever they found out what it was.
Oh, okay.
The day that they said where Shay was like, sounds like Guillain-Barré.
Yeah.
And I was just kept looking at the dream, and I secretly, whenever you wrote stuff down and all that stuff, and you were able to move your hand, and they took you off the ventilator, I like secretly looked up, and I was like, Grandpa, thank you.
Yeah.
You were right. And you were right, because I was spiraling down those 2 days. I was spiraling down. So I think Grandpa just knew.
You didn't show it whenever I woke up. You're hiding it pretty well.
Because
but I know you pretty well, and I knew that you were hurt, and and I felt bad for putting you through it.
So I just think it was like, because I remember asking my counselor, I was like, how come it wasn't my mom? And she was like, well, Robert was like your father figure, right? And I was like, yeah. She's like, I think you needed a father figure. And who else was your father figure? Grandpa.
Yeah.
So that moment right there was all I needed. That we're laying on his stomach and remembering. I think Grandma was there too, in a way. She was like,
I think if Grandpa wasn't in your life, it would probably been your mom.
Yeah.
So,
but I think I don't think I ever had a dream about Grandpa, and I think it was his turn.
Yeah.
I think he told my mom, was like, hey, I got this. And
I've had dreams of your mom and Grandpa.
Yeah.
After they passed. So
I had a dream about my grandma. I had a dream about my mom, and I had now I can say I had a dream about Grandpa.
Sweet.
Yep.
You're 2 for 2.
Yep.
So
4 for 4.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. So that's actually a pretty good note to end the show with.
Dreams
about people that you love, and they come back and talk to you and guide you and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool.
It is.
You have any shout outs?
Cassandra.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Cassandra. Blair. She's at work right now, right?
She is at work.
When she gets home, we're going to watch The Last of Us, right?
Yes.
So, okay. So, who do I got shout outs to? Matt, my mom, my brothers, my sister, Sebastian Ricardo. Hopefully they'll feel better.
Yeah.
Especially Sebastian. My angel. My coworkers, Caitlin and Candace. They're great. Love you guys. And everybody that's listening to this show, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for coming on the Facebook. Thanks for accepting the podcast. And we'll get into more Bigfoot and paranormal stuff. We kind of just touched on it a little bit, but we'll get into more of it, deeper details, and getting more people in there and talking about their stories and stuff like that. So I'm pretty happy. We're starting season 5. And it's going to be a good year. I have a feeling it's going to be a great year. And so I guess we can say good night.
Good night. And, well,
good night and good luck.
Good luck.